So, yeah, today I think I would like to speak about Puñña. You know what is Puñña, yeah? I think that's the first word what everyone learned as a Pali word. I mean, apart from Sati, maybe Sati Patana, all these things. Puñña means merit. So, yeah, different ways. And maybe to start with some kind of story from when I was ordained in Sri Lanka, in Nauyana. So this, they have a practice. Whenever they have also two lines in the Dana Sala, in a place where they eat, like ground floor, suppose for the place where people offer food, but it's more like the line of people, and they offer like each dish individually to monk's bowl. And one thing there, it's quite difficult to resist, because some like devotee come and they say punya, 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 like merit. But for me, for example, I cannot eat some spicy food. Yeah, most of Sri Lankan food is spicy, so I know few places. And for this reason, exactly, they have a separate line for like Western monks. They have another line where no people, where just food, like same as here. So we can safely collect what we need. But sometimes it's still nice to have this interaction when people with a faith, with a smile, offer for you something. Even you maybe cannot take everything, of course, but this is kind of joyful. Yeah, you rejoice in generosity of people. And of course gives them chance. They like to offer something not only for local monks, for Western monks a little bit. So, but also, and when we go up, as all monks go up, and there is also nice kind of tradition there. Every monk shares the food between each other. So it's like everyone come to everyone, like as two lines kind of go in front of each other. And I have a spoon, I share something to his bowl, and he do the same. He puts something in my bowl. And nice spirit, especially maybe you remember the sutta when the Buddha says that one would not start eating before offering something to another if one would understand the great merit of the giving in general. So they really adopt this sutta, like they don't start eating before they share. And one thing, like what I described now, it's more like tradition, because we anyway take the same food. There's no much real sharing, happening. But some monks go to village, just village pindapata, like from house to house, and those monks really do this a lot. So they collect, full bowl. They sure they cannot finish this full bowl, like full bowl, maybe sometimes back also, because people like to give, And when they come here, they share half of the bowl, because they don't need so much. And then when you, on receiving side, when, like at the beginning, of course, I kind of enjoyed this ceremony, like giving and so on. But then I realized, like, after this, even if I try before collect not spicy food, it's not working. After this, my whole bowl, like, mixed everything, So, of course, like, I tried for some time. Then I had some stomach issues. Then I have to ask for a visit to the doctor, So it's like, yeah, give chance out of compassion to monks to share, but then give some, like, use Sangha resources for doctor visit. So it's not skillful, yeah. So then, of course, I try to kind of avoid the things. But that's interesting, like, how this desire to make merit, desire, and there also, like, every monk you ask, why you do this or that. Of course, most of them doesn't speak English much. So this is just basic English, just few words. But they, like, know words merit and punya. Of course, punya is a Pali word. Like, any kind of question, what you ask him, oh, Bhante, why do this, why do that? Oh, punya, punya. And then I start to get sense, like, oh, this Sri Lankan monk doesn't know anything apart from punya. But of course, like, it's just English problem. Once you really, with translator or something else, so there is some much more depth there, surely. So, yeah, now my kind of question here, what are the ways to make merit? And let's maybe start with more simple one, yeah? What do you think? What would be the simplest way, the easiest way to make merit? Giving is one, yeah. So sharing, like, what was... and, like, there are many ways how to give, yeah? Like, I don't know, start from simple, it's like, just give a smile. they always give this as an example, because really when you speak with someone and someone smile, by default, he's just like, even before you come, he just of course it's nice, yeah, you feel pleasant, you feel like more joy speak with this person, or even before you had some, I don't know, maybe depression or whatever. So this may little bit bring you out of this, a little bit. Of course, there's a degree of depressions and so on. And another way, just to give hand, like at Bhante area, I think almost on every katina, from my memory, of course, he mentions it as, yeah, to give funds to the funds. It's very good. It's beneficial. But even more, what monastery need, it's a hand help. Like give a hand, come and just help with something. It's much more difficult actually these days for any person to give help, because everyone busy, yeah. But maybe not everyone thinks that they're busy. Because there's so many things to do, But give some like donation, much more easy, yeah. Just give and continue your business. But come to monastery and give a hand. It's actually more helpful in terms of, because not so many people do it. That's why it's more helpful. But any kind of contribution, of course, appreciated. And even in Pali, this word, they call it hatha kamma. Hatha means hand, kamma means action. So for me, always amazing how literal or idiomatic things, in English we say, give a hand. Yeah? In Pali, it's also hand action, literally. So it's interesting how like this concept, literal meaning of the words, still come from, especially all these Indo-European language, like Pali, Sanskrit, English, and so on. Maybe in Chinese. Is this in Chinese something like this? Like literal meaning, can you say like give a hand? Would it be understandable? Help. And is there something to do with hands there? Ah, okay. Yeah. Ah, I see. Yeah, so nice things. I mean, that makes sense in any language. Yeah, when you give help, you use your hands. Like, otherwise, so yeah, that's a nice thing to do. What other way of giving would be meritorious? What are you doing in your daily life? What may be classified as giving, and what's meritorious? Yeah, giving ear. Yeah, it's actually very nice to really like give some empathy to person come to you, and like we all tend to jump giving advice. Whenever I hear something, oh, you should do like this, you shouldn't do like that. Like, I mean, he definitely knows these things, or she. So, but person come to me, there is a need to express, yeah, like there is a need to be heard, yeah, to be listened. So it's quite important to. And when the time is right, it's also okay to give advice. When after person express himself, you see, okay, there is some kind of, there was before was some tension in a person, but once he expressed himself, there's some relaxation. He started to speak less, maybe slow, and so on. That's the time you maybe ask, or even he ask, like, oh, would you like to hear my opinion about situation? Would you like to hear what I would do in that situation? And then the person, once there's a connection, you give an ear to him already, so it's possible to. And I think that advice after connection would be much more better perceived, yeah, because when you straight away jump to advice, I mean, unless you are, I don't know, in different setups, like in some setups when, again, also my experience from Sri Lanka, when you come to teacher for meditation instruction, yeah, and you come to specific question, and there is a like line of monks before me and behind me. So everyone just have a little time with Bhante. So of course that time Bhante don't have time to connect with everyone. How you doing and so on. And people waiting. So it's just like a line. He come, like just pay respect, ask you a meditation question. He give you a few minutes to speak about stuff, speak about really like meditation, and then just next person. So in some setup, really give a ear. It's not the right time, yeah. So we need to know what's the right time. But if it's like individual, personal conversation, someone come to you and have something to share, it's nice to give an ear, yeah. So what are other ways of giving? What you can give? Yeah. So yeah, verbal. We can unite it by the idea that Dhamma Dana. It's like everything together. Of course, can be on different degree. You can give just word of encouragement, like move person from unwholesome to wholesome, or you can even give like whole Dhamma talk about paticca samuppada, dependent origination. It's also the same kind of dana, but when you do give some kind of Dhamma dana, be careful, because in English they say by wholesome intentions there is a way to hell. So because one may have intention to do good things, but he don't understand Dhamma, and he misunderstands something. Yeah, but present it as a Dhamma. Even intention here can be wholesome, can be good, but because of ignorance, he can mislead people quite far away, and this can be quite a bad karma to mislead people. So if you share something, the safest way, share the suttas. When you heard or when you read something in the suttas, just share the sutta, and later you can say, "Oh, and I understand the sutta like this." So in this case, you are safe. You share the Buddha's words, and you share personal opinion, but with clear kind of quotation. This is my personal opinion. I'm not mixing this together. So for this, of course, it requires some knowledge here. You need to know what sutta say, what sutta doesn't say. But yes, in some suttas they say that Dhamma dana is the highest dana, like to give instruction or to uplift another person, to kind of help him to be more happy, help him to find a way to happiness by himself. This, I think, even the best. And what would be the even better than the giving, more meritorious than the giving? Yeah, keeping precepts. Yeah. So this is, I don't know what's. Do you have a sutta which says that sila is more meritorious than dana? I don't remember. And yeah, I would hesitate to say that sila is better than dana, but surely sila it's a good way of accumulate merit. Yeah. So that, I mean, on the basic logical understanding, at least you don't have any regrets. Like whatever you do afterwards, if you did something unwholesome or bad, sooner or later people start to feel, oh, I done something bad. Maybe I shouldn't do like this. I shouldn't do that. And then when you try to meditate or anything, even before sleep, some of this daily misbehavior, they come up, and people kind of difficulty sleeping, and of course next day is bad mood because you didn't sleep well. So it's like direct cause and effect relationship. But on the long run, even when you have a habit of don't do bad, do good, so sila is mostly don't do bad, don't do unwholesome. So then it's like a habit. You like your mental purity become on some like pure level, high level in a way. And then for a person after doing for many years, for keeping sila for many years, would be very uncomfortable to do something unwholesome. Yeah, like would be even on the habitual level, like there was some maybe opportunity to give a small lie or something like this, but because of all these years of experience of abstaining from lie, there would be some hesitation. Oh no, this I even this is already the first step. I think the more advanced step, this thought will not occur to lie. That's to me how I understand quality of stream enter. They call it stream enter. Of course, have many qualities, but one quality it's sila, the virtue pleasing to a noble one or dear to the noble one. So it's like his virtue quite high, and they say he cannot break 5 sila at all. So it's just impossible for him. So I understand this more like deep habit. The person did it for so long time or so deeply, or maybe he gets some deep realization, as streamer may definitely get, but that forced him to just enter the stream, and this stream just carry you. You just cannot, like in the, I think similar to the stream is ideal. In the stream, in the strong stream, you cannot go back unless you have some tools, but naturally you cannot go back once you enter the stream. The stream lead you forward. So same way, like person cannot commit anything unwholesome. So it's just out of his nature in a way. And there is no, as I understand, maybe there is some magic there, what I cannot understand. Like because it's 3 mantras, some magic, I don't know. But it seems like very logical, yeah? Like once you really have a habit to do something good or bad, any habit really carry you forward. And I don't think the stream mentor would have a desire to change his habit, yeah? Because he clearly sees a goal, yeah? He clearly sees where it's leading and he wants to get there. So, yeah, Sila, it's very nice. But also, what even more beneficial? Meditation, yeah. So, very good. You know all the answers. What I'm doing here. Just wait when Lenny finish packing, to use a car. So, yeah, and another sutta, I think you all remember that sutta, very famous. They say, if a person give a dana as 100 pots in the morning, in the lunch, and in the evening, 100 like some kind of pots, big pots with the food. These things would be less meritorious than practicing loving kindness meditation, even for a time when one can milk the cow. Anyone have experience with milking a cow? But interestingly, what kind of metta referring to here? Would it be just like now I'm speaking and I just say, may all beings be happy, and continue speaking? Would it be that metta? No. So it would be, at least, I think when we discuss with the teacher that question, teachers say that at least level of the freedom from hindrances and like level of first jhana close to. So just feel with joy and happiness and free from hindrances and kind of stability of mind. It doesn't have to be absorption. It's maybe more like interactive meditation, but still quite high state. Free from hindrances. It's achievable, but it's requires some effort, of course. So and this makes sense. That kind of metta, pure metta in a way, without hindrances, much more meritorious than giving. And I just ask one Bhante question that to what kind of dana in these suttas they're referring to? Because we know from other suttas there are different, like given to arahant would be different than given to a beggar on the street who drink like something. So naturally, and then I ask, like, would it include like 100 pots in morning, lunch, and evening to the Arya Sangha, like including Buddha even? Okay, this is imaginary question. But then, and like another person to practice. And it's kind of interesting. At least that time I receive a question that any kind of dana, of course, dana have a different degree, but pure meditation, pure metta in that case, it's higher than any kind of dana. Interesting. I mean, yeah. And also, another sutta which speak that the dana to Sangha is higher than any other dana, like to Sangha as a whole. And even someone tried to offer something for Buddha, and Buddha say, it's even much more meritorious if you give this to the Sangha, so rather than the Buddha. So to me, it was always unclear. And I also asked one question, that imagine the Sangha of very bad monks, who don't practice at all, who just, yes, they're not Parajika monks, they not have these 4 rules, they don't break these 4 rules, they're technically monks, but they don't follow anything. They don't practice, they don't study, they not virtuous. And there is Arahant, who clearly Arahant. Would it be really more beneficial given to them rather than to him? And so there are differences of opinions. from my speaking with the people, with monks, some think that suttas are referring to, because in the Buddha's time, the Sangha was virtuous. The Sangha was include the Aryas, and that's why given to that kind of Sangha, virtuous Sangha, much more higher than give to any individual. Because when you give to Sangha, that's also what I heard, when you give to Sangha, potentially anyone can benefit from that gift. Like to give to Sangha, and then tomorrow some Arhat come, he can get this dana, because in Sangha we share things. Unless some not virtuous monk takes these things before. But there's always possibility. But it's his karma. We cannot do anything. So that's, I think, what I like more as an interpretation, that given to the virtuous Sangha is much more higher than given to any individual. There are some suttas even one sutta says that Buddha clearly described not virtuous Sangha and say, gift even to this Sangha still meritorious. He didn't compare in the sutta, it's meritorious more than given to Arahants and stuff like this, but still gift to non-virtuous Sangha, it still gives you some merit. That's how I understood it. That's another argument for those who think that give to any Sangha better than give to Arahant. So you can choose your interpretation, like either give to Sangha or give to Arahant. And if you find Arahant, please share with me. I mean, these days not so easy, yeah. Especially these things is a personal things. From even staying together with a person, we can see the qualities, but we cannot make sure, make 100% sure what kind of attainment person have. Yeah, we can see, okay, person don't display any anger, yeah, don't display any ill will or any greed, or maybe don't have wrong view clearly when we speak with person. But really, on which stage of enlightenment he is, it's very difficult to say, unless you're Buddha or you're one of the arahant who have psychic power, can read others' mind. So yeah, all this. I spoke, I think, with one devotee, and I think he said to me that I always imagine in my mind that when I give dana, he's an arahant, he's an arya at least. So I give to sangha or to monk, I imagine that he's virtuous one and he's arya. I think it's nice attitude. I mean, unless he really, in ignorance, he listen every word and, oh, this is arahant saying, So there's a degree of ignorance, of course. But to have a pure mind in the time when you give, I think it's a nice, to kind of have wholesomeness. Yeah. Pure intention. Yeah. And that's it's actually the same what I maybe lastly want to clarify. Like in that example from Sri Lanka, when people give, and when I not receive, they're not happy. They're like, why not give? But actually, in Buddhism, we say that intention matter. Yeah? When you have an intention to give, and you do giving, and even if some monks say, oh, sorry, I cannot take it for some reason, or please give it to someone else, I don't need it, it's still fine. You still get your merit. You still get your share of meritorious activities. So you don't need to really push him, no, take it. Even if you don't need it. So that's kind of important to understand, and otherwise people can get upset when some people not accept gift and so on. And as a Buddhist monk, we don't have to accept everything. Out of compassion, it's good to, if something has been offered to me, I would transfer it to Sangha or something like this. But if I'm on my own somewhere alone and I don't know what to do with this, I don't need it at all. It's okay to say, thank you, but I don't need it. I appreciate your effort. Okay, so I wish all of you to do merit, on any level, what you can do. And also, as usually, Bhante asks, what to do with this merit? Would you like to keep it for yourself, or would you like to share it? Share. Okay, let us share merit. So let us close our eyes.